All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans. Less than 24 hours from the time of this recording, they will upset the Baltimore Ravens on the road in the divisional round of the playoffs. Here's the deal, folks. CJ Stroud is playing at an elite level. The defense is doing a phenomenal job, and they just routed the Cleveland Browns, one of the hottest teams in the National Football League, 45-14. Less than a week ago. I mean, that game was absolutely crazy. And if they replicate how they played, if they replicate that success, I do think they're going to take down the Baltimore Ravens. The Houston Texans had 14 turnovers in the regular season. That is the fewest in the NFL. Lamar Jackson has at least one interception in all 4 career playoff starts. He had 1 interception in their meeting against Houston in week 1. And Houston has at least 1 interception in 7 of their last 10 games. And obviously, we remember the 2 pick sixes against Cleveland about a week ago. CJ has 0 interceptions in 6 of 7 road starts this season. And you're playing a rusty Baltimore Ravens team that hasn't played in a couple of weeks. And the last time they did play, it was mainly their bench. They're without Mark Andrews. I think if the Houston Texans offense and defense do their thing, led by D'Amico Ryans, and you win the turnover battle, but most importantly, actually, I think you're probably going to have 0 turnovers. I think they're going to win the game, man. CJ Stroud can become the 6th rookie quarterback ever to start and win a divisional round playoff game. He only needs 281 passing yards to surpass Andrew Luck, who had 4,600 in 2012 for the most passing yards ever by a rookie, including the playoffs. So I can't wait. I know my fellow Texans fans can't wait. And yeah, we're going to talk about it in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Texans fans, I was blown away by how little coverage you guys got this entire week. I mean, Houston in general, very undercovered all season, which is so weird because Houston's a huge city. It's a huge market. And I just saw mainly Baltimore Ravens stuff all week. So I know my Texans fans would agree with this. Flying below the radar. They got nothing to lose. They're playing with house money. But before we get into this video, if we could try and get 250 likes, it would mean the absolute world to me. So I get it, man. Baltimore's got a really solid defense, right? They're absolutely loaded defensively. But here's the thing. So is Cleveland. You know, the Cleveland Browns statistically, and I would say eye test, had the #1 defense in the National Football League season, and they hung up 45 on them. I mean, it was miraculous. 16-21, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I know people know that CJ Stroud is the real deal. I know people can see this, and people are already looking into his future, saying, this guy can be very special. But what's somehow not being talked, like, he is special right now. This dude, the rookie QB, with a banged up offensive line all first half of the season, with no clear-cut wide receiver 1 heading into the year. Nico Collins really shut that up. Tank Dell got injured many moons ago. CJ Stroud threw for over 4,000 passing yards in the regular season, had 23 touchdowns. And here's the craziest thing. He had 5 picks. You don't see rookie QBs who had just won 3 football games, win the division, win 10 games, and in the process throw 5 picks. Like I said, people know CJ Stroud is good, and they know he's gonna be good. But this dude is playing like a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League right now. And the Baltimore Ravens, being the #1 seed, the expectations are very high. And so I want to talk a little bit about some players on Houston that I think are going to have a really good game. We'll talk about the defense a little bit later on in the video. So Devin Singletary, this is, in my opinion, one of the most, not even only this season, because I know it took him way too long to take over Dameon Pierce's job as the official RB1. Devin Singletary's NFL career, which hasn't been long, about 5 seasons, is one of the most underappreciated running backs in the National Football League. 216 carries, 898 yards, and 4 touchdowns in the regular season for Houston, not even being the starter. This dude can also catch balls, by the way. 13 rushes for 66 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 5.1 yards per carry against, once again, the best defense in the National Football League in the Cleveland Browns. When we take a look at Baltimore's defense statistically ranked, they give up big plays against the rush. In fact, against the rush, they're only ranked 14th in the league. They're a middle-of-the-pack defensive rush team. And so I think if Houston can get the ball early, or if their defense can get a stop right out of the gate, or at least no touchdowns, which they've, by the way, they've done a phenomenal job. D'Amico Ryans is making great quarterbacks look at least average here. If they can get a stop or just not allow a touchdown, or even better, get the ball to start the game, storm down the field, balanced attack, CJ Stroud does his thing, Devin Singletary does his thing, Nico Collins, everybody included, the offensive line's been holding up very well. They gave up 0 sacks against the Cleveland Browns. Like, CJ processes the game. He sees the game. He sees the field. He reads the field. This guy is so good for his age. It's unreal. If they get off to a lead to start this game, I said this about the Packers. I think the Packers are going to win as well. If the Texans are winning at halftime, I think they're going to win the football game. And Devin Singletary with 13 attempts, 66 yards last weekend against Cleveland. Expect his name to be called. I've been tweeting about this dude all year. I've been talking about this dude in my videos all freaking year. Nico Collins, phenomenal job. But I know you're without Tank Dell. Nico against Cleveland, 6 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Brevin Jordan with the 76-yard touchdown catch. John Mechie III, 3 catches, 44 yards. You can look at that. You can box score, watch it, and be like, well, you know, that's a solid game, especially, you know, if you're familiar with John Mechie's story in his rookie season. It was just super slow. All things considered, I think it was a perfectly fine. He's a very high upside player. 3 catches, 44 yards. Those were huge. Dalton Schultz, 37-yard touchdown catch. Even Xavier Hutchinson and his 2 catches for 12 yards. Like, these things compile. I have 0 concerns about the Houston Texans offense going up against the Baltimore Ravens defense. I don't know why I would be. CJ Stroud's been incredibly perfect. And so when we look at the defense, once again, I'll revert back to all those fun interception facts about Lamar Jackson. Like, he's going to make mistakes. And if the Houston Texans defense can capitalize on these mistakes, well, folks, you're in the driver's seat. Steven Nelson with the pick 6, Christian Harris with the pick 6, but they were all over Joe Flacco. They were all over the Cleveland Browns offensive line. I know the Baltimore Ravens offensive line is much different than the Cleveland Browns offensive line that's been very injured all season. These guys had 4 sacks. They had the 2 pick 6s, Will Anderson Jr., Derek Barnett. I mean, guys are just stepping up and making plays. And just like, once again, man, if they play how they have all season, especially against good teams, especially how they played last weekend, I don't know why Houston doesn't at least have a fighting chance, right? I don't know why they don't. I have not seen that much all week. I do know a lot of Texans fans. You guys know I started this channel, started making Houston Rockets content. So I know a lot of Texans fans. Everybody believes. I think most people would agree this game's not going to be a blowout. Like the over-unders, like the 9.5. Like, come on, dude, give me a freaking break. Watch the Houston Texans play football, and then give me a betting odd. Doesn't matter, neither here nor there. The Houston Texans will upset the Baltimore Ravens this upcoming Saturday, about 24 hours from now. So that's it for today, man. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. But most importantly, especially for my Texans fans, give me a score prediction down below. Let's go, baby.